Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th.
Jake Paul has finally fired back at Anthony Joshua. And this time, he isn't holding anything back. After weeks of criticism, backlash, mockery, and fans calling their December fight a complete mismatch, Jake Paul has come out swinging with a message that has sent shockwaves through the boxing world.
Right, Jake Paul. I mean, if he's true to his word, if he really wants the fight, I mean, it's all very well saying, what did he say? I'll knock him, you know, he's got a weak chin.
Jake Paul just spoke to Oscar there and said, Anthony Joshua has a weak chin, I will knock him out.
Well, look, if he's true to his word, the fight will happen.
Next.
But whenever I know, but I can't believe, you know, and it's great that Tyson Fury is saying that Jake Paul's going to win, and people, I mean, like, maybe I've just lost my mind. But if they truly want that fight, you know, I reached out to Nikisa earlier, we're going to have a chat next week. If they truly want the fight, we can make actually the fight that does the biggest numbers in the sport. Forget Canelo Crawford. That doesn't even touch the surface of, and I can't believe I'm saying it, of AJ against Jake Paul.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So
he says he is coming to shock the world. He is coming to break Anthony Joshua. And he is coming to prove that everyone who doubts him is stuck living in the past. Jake keeps reminding people that every single time they said he had no chance, he proved them wrong. They said he would never beat Anderson Silva, he beat him. They said he would never step in with real boxers, he did. They said he would never risk his record, he keeps doing it. Now he is stepping in against one of the most dangerous punchers in heavyweight history. And he is telling the world he is not afraid. He believes Anthony Joshua is too stiff, too predictable, too traditional. And Jake claims the new era of boxing belongs to fighters like him, fighters who are creative, unorthodox, and willing to swing until something lands.
What's he had, about 10 or 12
fights, yeah.
Fights, I'm not sure what he's had. And, you know, you look at the opposition he's had and people saying, when's he going to fight somebody? He stepped up. He's stepping up to a two-time world champion, a genuine heavyweight, a proper heavyweight champion, and an active fighter. And this is a big moment for him. And you got to take your hat off to him for that. As regarding AJ, I'm sure AJ's wants a fight back after that, that unbelievable loss he had against Daniel Dubois. That quite an emphatic loss. He wants to come back, get himself dip his toe in the water. He's going to get paid a lot of money for this. This fight's going to generate a lot of money because for me, it's a fighter. Jake Paul's going to be a massive underdog against a big favourite, a big odds-on favourite. Can he do it or not? This is a car crash, and people will watch it because that's what people do at car crashes. That's what this is.
If you don't win this fight in 30 seconds, there's going to be two things thrown at him. One, you're no good. A lot of people are going to say, you can't afford Jake Paul. You're terrible. You're never any good. So forget he was two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Who's the fellow that's wrong with Jake Paul? And God forbid he gets beat. Imagine if he got beat, or he gets dropped, or the rest of his career count pretty much for nothing in most people's eyes. And the second thing is, if he does take him rounds, if he does hold him up, if he does play the game and get a few rounds in, and it's a bit of an exhibition style thing, he'll never be taken serious by most paying public ever again. So I just think it's a no-win situation for Anthony Joshua, apart from the 50 million quid, of course, which is not too bad.
Who the fuck is he fighting? He's good. I'm not betting on this fight. Joshua.
People are mocking Jake Paul. Analysts are calling this matchup insane. Legends like Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan have already given their breakdowns, saying this fight is unbelievable and extremely dangerous. Jake Paul is about 6 feet 1 inch, while Anthony Joshua stands 6 feet 6 inches, a former world heavyweight champion with knockout power in both hands. On paper, this should not even be competitive. But Jake Paul says that is exactly why he agreed to it. He wants the challenge. He wants the risk. He wants the night where absolutely no one believes in him so he can make the entire world swallow their words.
55. I've got a problem with this one, because Anthony Joshua is a 2-time world champion. Jake Paul's a YouTuber and doesn't deserve the right to be in a ring with Anthony.
Well, don't buy the fight then.
It's dangerous. We saw what Anthony Joshua had done to Francis Ngannou. This is a fight.
I know, but what I'm
People
saying
are going in there, their health is at risk.
But the only reason they
put someone in there in a ring.
I know, Jay.
And you say the only reason we're doing it is for money. That don't sit right with me.
Fine, then don't buy it.
Is Jake Paul at risk, and isn't everything about money, and who cares?
Well, of course he is, but that's what bothers me, right? If Anthony Joshua was to do what he done to Ngannou to Jake Paul, that's like life-changing injuries, potentially fatal. There's got to be some sort of contract being signed here, like, look, pull your punches a little bit, mate. If it was real, it'd be dangerous. But the annoying thing is people are going to go on about this as if it is real. And for me, it can't.
Paul he doesn't have to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua for $50 million. He's got $50 million. So for him to do this, get on the biggest stage in the world, which is Netflix, and fight a 2 times heavyweight world champion, you've got to have a big, giant set of balls, right? Now you might think, well, look, Anthony Joshua's 36 years old. He's past it. No, mate. Alexander Usyk, who's the world heavyweight champion now, probably the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world at heavyweight, is 38 years old. If you look at history over time, a lot of heavyweights seem to prime as they get older. Now, a problem for Anthony Joshua is his activity. He's only fought twice in 2 years. And one of them, he got knocked out off Daniel Dubois. That was his last fight. And a lot of people say you can only judge a fighter's quality from their last fight. And then the fight before that was a win, but it was a win against Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, if you know, he was the UFC heavyweight who's not a real boxer. And he only had one fight before that boxing fight, what he lost as well. So that's his activity in boxing. Now, Jake Paul, on the other hand, looking at his box rec, he's had 6 fights since 2023. And one of them was against Mike Tyson. But we all seen what happened in that fight. Mike Tyson was well past his prime. Where Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is, but I'm not going to say he's coming into his prime because he had some great wins earlier on in his career before he lost to Usyk twice. And by the way, when he did lose to Usyk, the last one was a split decision. It was a pretty close fight. So now this fight is matched. And I just want to look at the tail of the tape. Now, looking at the age difference, we've got 28 years old compared to 36 years old. So I guess the advantage there goes a little bit towards Jake Paul. 28-year-old is better than a 36-year-old. But that being said, we've got talking about experience and everything else, what comes with being 36 years old at Anthony Joshua's level. And then, like I mentioned, the heavyweights kind of seem to prime a little bit older. Now, come down to the height and the weight. This is the big one. 6'1" versus 6'6". 200 pound versus 252 pound. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua. The reach advantage is a lot, which we would expect. Amateur fights, we can see that Jake's only had 1, where AJ's had 4.
Fans are arguing non-stop because if Jake Paul somehow wins this fight, it becomes one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. The real question everyone keeps asking is, how does Jake Paul actually win? What would he need to do? And realistically, his path to victory is incredibly narrow, but not impossible. He would have to survive the early rounds, use constant movement, stay on the outside, force Anthony Joshua to tire out, and hope Joshua either makes mistakes or gets careless. Jake would need to rely on timing, speed, and that looping right hand that has finished so many of his past opponents. If Jake can drag this fight into deep waters, there is the slightest chance. That's what he believes. That's what he's training for. That's what he's risking everything on. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua is being criticized heavily for even accepting this matchup. Critics are calling it embarrassing, calling it a circus act, calling it a cash grab. But Jake Paul is turning all of that into motivation. He says people keep underestimating him because they have no idea what he's really trying to prove.
Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua. A fitter, more focused Anthony Joshua than the version that we've got now, possibly. But this, to me, is everything that's wrong with boxing. It's a money play, nothing wrong. I don't begrudge Anthony Joshua getting 50 million quid for an easy night's work. That's fantastic returns. Most people would take it. From the boxing world, Jake Paul is now a professional fighter. Whether we categorise him as a YouTuber or not, he's licensed to fight, which means that the governing body should be suggesting that this is not a fight that possibly they should be looking to sanction.
Yeah.
But they will, because the sanctioning fees will be enormous. Anthony Joshua will not lose his legacy like some people are suggesting, because no one will remember it in 2 or 3 years' time. If he embarrasses himself in there, they'll remember it. If he goes in and knocks him out in 30 seconds flat, or turns it into a little bit more of a sort of Jake LaMotta, Raging Bull, holding him up for a few rounds and then knocking him out, then people will forgive it. He'll get a big bag of money, which most people in the world would take.
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. Yeah, I think everybody's going to get what they finally been.
To him, this is all part of the plan. He says he's building an empire, creating a legacy, and taking risks no one else in the boxing world would dare to take in December. The world is about to see it firsthand. Is Jake Paul truly prepared to step into a real heavyweight war with one of the most dangerous men of the past decade? Or is this finally the moment where his hype train comes to a violent halt? Love him or hate him, people will be watching. Because if Jake Paul manages even a single moment of success against Anthony Joshua, the world will explode. And if he wins, boxing will never look the same.